After 100 days in Palworld, what is there left to do? Well, I emerged from the depths with the same question. The only solution I could think of: build a wall. So in 101 days, I haven't really seen much combat, which makes me think I'm safe. However, as I was progressing through the game now, I was unlocking a lot more defensive abilities. The giant stone walls, giant stone gates, turrets, everything you see here, were all brand new to me. Nevertheless, I really wanted to show them off. You can tell quite clearly here I had no idea what I wanted to build, I just wanted to build something. And that's kind of where it turned into, just something. After taking a step back to admire my handiwork, I thought, nope, needs more turrets. Who knows, maybe one day we'll get to that interior. The one thing that seems to bug me the most on Palworld at the moment is I haven't defeated the tower bosses yet. So that's what I set out to do. I adventured far and wide, and I found the third tower. And this one was no joke. I had a wide range of arrows, firearms, and POWs, and I assumed I'd be able to stand my ground for a bit, but no, I got my ass kicked in this fight. I was chipping away at Marcus's health just bit by bit, right? And it was quite clear that I wasn't going to last very long in this fight. Nevertheless, it would be really impressive if I could kill this guy, so I didn't back down and I kept trying. I should have backed down. As soon as I respawned, I went on an adventure for better POWs. I needed something that could run fast and something that could fly. This way I could traverse about 99% of the map. And then I met Beacon. Now, I didn't actually know this bird was here, it was just a complete surprise. I fell off of a cliff and just found them. But I remember Corey speaking about this bird, and he spoke very highly of it, so I tried to catch it. If only the tower bosses were as easy as this, because I managed to secure an easy beacon. After this, I then had to saddle for both Beacon and Rayhound, and I got lost trying to get home. Eventually I made it though, with help with the map. Whenever I get stuck in this game and I feel like I've got nothing to do, I just build stupid things that I end up not liking, so that's what I did for the next half an hour. And I kind of convinced myself that it's a place where people with flying powers can just fly into my base, but I really don't know what it was. Speaking of flying powers, me and Beacon went on our first adventure to Mount Obsidian. There were quite a few powers here that I'd actually never seen before, and I made sure to catch every single one of them. However, my ultimate goal was the tower. Of course it was the tower. I then got ambushed and had to have Rayhound test out some of her parkour skills because, well, I brought out one of the wrong powers. But it turns out she can double jump, which was very handy, or else I would have been dead. But everywhere we went, we were just outnumbered by powers that looked very powerful, so I decided there was safety in the air. Funnily enough, flying up to the tower, I ended up bumping into Corey, who had the exact same idea in mind, so not only is there strength in heights, there's strength in numbers. Now, Corey was here to kind of capture new powers to get a better roster, but I convinced him to help me out. Do you want to try and take on this tower boss with me?
I have a couple level 6 powers, let's go.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that.
Level 20.
I mean, we can try.
We could say hi, yeah.
Yeah, we can go rock up at least. Oh, did you just jump out? Oh no, there you are.
No? Much sense, but...
Yeah, I know where the grass fire... Wait, that's cool.
The electric's at the start.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, we've already fought an electric. Okay, this looks spicy. Now, I'm not wrong in thinking, right? 2 people, 2 POWs would have meant an easier victory. Because that's all I was thinking. I thought at least we'd secure this one, considering I took a huge yow in the last one, but this one seemed more difficult. Now, I haven't kind of figured out the strength of the towers. I don't know which one has what, I don't know anything, so I'm always kind of surprised by what I'm fighting and who I'm fighting and the strength of it, but 160,000, yeah, it was a bit much for us. So we ended up taking another L here. Corey managed to hang on a little bit longer than I did, which was surprising considering he's about half my level at this point. As I returned to base, 2 losses in hand, there's only one thing that crossed my mind. I need to branch out. I need to find more people. Now, me and Corey are doing good, but on a big server like this, there's really no explanation for only having a 2-man crew. With that in mind, I decided to search the server, looking for literally anyone. I didn't find anyone. But what I did find was this. Arguably better. Now I'm getting to the point in the game where I need to start collecting coal, and I don't actually have a way to do this. I'm only able to have 2 bases, one which is my home base, and the other which is already my iron farm. I didn't have a pick, so I double checked it was coal using a gun, and it was coal. I then made the impulsive decision to disassemble my farm and try and create a new one here. There were trees, there was ore, there was coal, there's pretty much everything I needed. However, one thing I learned from my first base was they fall off the edge really easily. If they were getting stuck and falling off the edge in my first base, this one here was really going to be a problem. That's nothing that a giant wooden barrier can fix, and it was the first time I've actually used this. I made sure to keep all the relevant things that Corey told me, so this farm should work just as well as the last one. And it started to look alright from afar. So I decided to teach myself the breeding mechanics after that. Not gonna lie, I did have the Palworld community kind of tell me who I needed to breed, and I just went out and hunted them. There were still a few pals on this game that I didn't have, but were kind of proving to be a challenge to get. And I thought if I could breed them, it saves me getting my ass kicked by them. It was also the first time I ever found a huge egg, and they were huge. Like, look at this thing. So I done this for an embarrassing amount of time, trying to get as many eggs as possible, and incubated them all. I then started teaching all my new pals new tricks, and it looked like somewhat of a powerful team now. There were still 2 more I didn't have, however, I was just about to get one of them. So I kind of just went back and forth, trying to breed as many as possible, snatching up the eggs and just incubating them, and we ended up with a lot of eggs. I took a visit back to the farm because I didn't quite understand why, but it wasn't working. However, I was now able to get a refined ingot. I had no idea what these were for, so I just checked the technology tree and cool new weapons and armor, so I got to work on that immediately. I just crafted every single thing I could. Everything that needed refined ingots, that's what I did. And I don't regret it. I look badass. Giga shield and refined armor. Weapons will come soon. We were now starting to look the part, like we looked badass. We just needed the pals that were badass, and I was just kind of waiting for that. But eventually, I got one of my 2. And with okay skills, to be honest. Now, I was just going to spam breed these until I had the most powerful of all of them. But doing this was really damaging my resources, so I ended up just going back to see if I could get that farm to work, and it took a very long time, but eventually I did. We got ingots, we got coal, so we got refined ingots, which means brand new weapons, brand new armor. And just to kind of make up the numbers, I got a logging site and a stone pit put up in the base again. I spent the entire night just kind of doing small bits to kind of help with the resources, and I actually had the powers help me. Apparently the powers in my home base actually do a lot compared to the ones in my farming bases, which actually hurts, but you know, we'll get there eventually. We just gotta be patient. Now, all of this did stress me out a lot, but eventually we got it all sorted, and I was able to go to bed in Palworld feeling a lot happier than how I woke up. However, when we woke up, I did manage to bag the second pal I was looking for. Well, kind of. There's still another step. The breeder mechanic. Now, I don't know how to pronounce this pal's name, so I'm not going to try, but I do know you can get a red version, like a red Gyarados, and the only way I can think to do it is to breed them with red pals, because genetics, right? So I kind of mass-produced cakes, only to get this weird Suzuku Aqua. It looks cool, but it's not what I wanted. As the rest of the eggs were hatching, I kind of thought I'd go on an adventure, and I found something. Now I got excited because Corey was down by the volcano and I knew this wasn't him. Now this player spent forever running around building up the entire structure as I flew around above his head just kind of watching, and he never once spotted me, so I had to make it a bit more obvious for him. Now, we spoke for a bit, he joined my guild, and he said eventually he would help me in what I was doing, but I had to help him what he was doing. That's fair enough. The guy's level 13, limited armor, building his first base, so I thought I'd disappear. I'd come back in a few days and see what the guy can do, you know? Let's judge his potential. This entire time, my chat was actually telling me the only way to get the red version of what I wanted was to find it in an egg around Mount Obsidian. So I went egg hunting. For hours. Now, I kind of assumed it would be in a large scorching egg, or a huge scorching egg, something big and red, right? So basically, I just flew overhead. Any egg I saw, I grabbed. I mean, I was kind of thinking I might get quite a few here. This is the longest time I actually spent on this volcano. I come here for the tower and then kind of dipped. I come back now and then to grab pals that I think are cool, but this is by far the longest period of time I've spent here. But then something happened. Now, I discovered something almost immediately after maxing out my inventory full of eggs. I found this thing. After finding this, I immediately went back to base. I just knew this was the one. So I went and started incubating every single egg that I had. Then I kind of just waited with them and I don't know, I knew new people were on the game and I thought they might try look for my base. I got paranoid. The reason is I got paranoid. So yeah, after an hour, every single egg got incubated and I finally got what I wanted. There he is. Now all I have to do is just find another egg and spam breed. Now, I'm about to have a really powerful roster. I can't wait for the next video.